This is News Channel 20 at 5.
Tonight at 5, James Comey takes on Capitol Hill. The former FBI director front and center discussing his firing and the Russia investigation.
Plus, season debut postponed. A crime delays the Springfield Municipal Band's upcoming performance.
And traveling the country, a memorial honoring those who gave their lives fighting terrorism makes a stop in Springfield.
It's my judgment that I was fired because of the Russia investigation. I was fired in some way to change, or the endeavor was to change the way the Russia investigation was being conducted. That is a very big deal.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm John Rieger.
And I'm Stacey Skryzak. In one of the most eagerly awaited hearings in decades, fired FBI Director James Comey was front and center at a Senate intelligence hearing.
That's right. In today's testimony, the culmination of months of swirling questions about his firing, the Russian investigation, and whether President Trump urged Comey to end a probe into Michael Flynn. Scott McLean reports from Washington.
Swear to tell the truth.
He promised President Trump, quote, honesty on the Russia investigation. On Capitol Hill today, former FBI Director James Comey claimed he didn't get the same treatment in return when it came to the reason for his dismissal.
I was also confused by the initial explanation that was offered publicly, that I was fired because of the decisions I had made during the election year. Those were lies, plain and simple.
Comey said he felt the president wanted him to end the Michael Flynn investigation and took it as an order.
I mean, this is the President of the United States, with me alone, saying, I hope this. I took it as this is what he wants me to do. Now, I didn't obey that, but that's the way I took it.
You may have taken it as a direction, but that's not what he said.
Correct.
Comey called the conversations concerning, but drew no conclusions.
I don't think it's for me to say whether the conversation I had with the president was an effort to obstruct.
Comey testified the president asked him for his loyalty during a one-on-one dinner at the White House.
I got the sense my job would be contingent upon how he felt I conducted myself and whether I demonstrated loyalty.
Comey also explained why he leaked one of his memos about a conversation with Trump to the press.
I asked a friend of mine to share the content of the memo with a reporter. I asked him to because I thought that might prompt the appointment of a special counsel.
The president's attorney weighing in on the testimony.
The president feels completely vindicated and is eager to continue moving forward.
On Capitol Hill, I'm Scott McLean.
Reaction is pouring in tonight from our local congressional lawmakers following James Comey's testimony. Senator Dick Durbin saying there is troubling evidence, troubling testimony, and need for clarification. News Channel 20's Rachel Droz is here now with details.
Stacey, Senator Dick Durbin today saying the American people need to ask themselves this question: who do you trust? Durbin says Comey's record keeping of encounters with the president, his willingness to testify publicly under oath, and answering a line of questions from a bipartisan panel of senators speaks volumes.
You know, I think he came off very strong and very convincing that the president went too far. The president, no person should try to stop or influence a criminal investigation.
When asked if any testimony given thus far on the Russia investigation is grounds for impeachment, Durbin responded by saying, quote, "We're not even close to that point in time." Durbin says special counsel Robert Mueller, who was appointed by the Justice Department to oversee the Russia investigation, is the right person for this historic assignment. Back to you.
Thanks, Rachel. Congressman Rodney Davis released a statement in response to Comey's testimony. The Republican said, quote, "I hope ongoing investigations conducted by the special prosecutor and bipartisan intelligence committees in Congress will prevent any future interference by Russia or anyone else in our election process," end quote. Now, to see his complete statement and other lawmaker reaction, head to our website, newschannel20.com. And stay with ABC News Channel 20 for continuing coverage of the James Comey testimony. ABC World News will have much more in today's hearing right after this broadcast. Plus, we'll also have updates on air and online at newschannel20.com.
Developing now, Aaron Schock is not entitled to evidence prosecutors gathered from an informant on the former congressman's staff. A federal judge made the announcement Wednesday, saying prosecutors did not rely on documents from the informant to charge the Republican and will only use limited secret recordings that the employee made. The judge added the unused material cannot hamper Schock's defense. Schock resigned in 2015 over lavish spending and pleaded not guilty to theft of government funds. The trial date is set for January 22nd.
In the state of Illinois, just moments ago, Governor Bruce Rauner said he is talking with lawmakers about calling a special session. Details are unknown right at this moment, but we will update you on when and if that governor calls for that special session. Seniors and their advocates today denouncing a program that would change how the state provides in-home care to seniors. Under a plan proposed by the state, seniors not covered by Medicaid would be cut from the community care program and placed into a new community reinvestment program. The Illinois Alliance for Retired Americans, SEIU Healthcare Illinois, and several community members are concerned this new program will diminish the quality of care Illinois seniors receive.
We were not told about a pilot program. We were not told about a case by case. They're just planning on going and looking, and they're going to make the decision as to who gets what. And 36,000 seniors are potentially going to lose their home care services. You know, people that are like family to them now.
According to the Department on Aging, the Community Reinvestment Program will save the state about $120 million a year without cutting services.
Top Illinois officials are calling on Governor Rauner to join the U.S. Climate Alliance following President Trump's decision to withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement. Illinois' constitutional officers and other top elected officials sent the Republican governor a letter outlining the benefits of joining the initiative. Right now, 12 governors have joined the alliance, pledging support to fight climate change under the Paris Agreement.
Crime Watch, the Springfield Municipal Band had to postpone this season's debut after their equipment was stolen. News Channel 20 Symphony Sherman talked with the band about how this is going to affect the rest of their season. Symphony?
John, the band had $1,000 worth of equipment stolen. The band stored their equipment at the end of their season last August. They didn't discover it was missing until right before their first show at Douglas Park, which meant canceling the opening gig. The thieves stole all of their sound equipment like speakers, amps, and mics. However, it was luckily all covered by insurance.
The timeline for when this burglary occurred is going to cause us some problems as we're doing the investigation.
The burglary is currently being investigated by both the Springfield Police Department and the Park District Police. The band member Kent Pratt told me that they were lucky enough to have backup equipment, so their season will continue as usual. Live in the News Center, Stephanie Sherman, News Channel 20.
In the Weather Center with Thomas Patrick sitting in for Cheryl today, and we've had some pretty sweet days the last couple of days, but it's going to get hotter.
You know, it's been very nice today, and the key is the humidity's been in check.
Yeah.
This weekend, we're definitely going to be blasting the AC in the cars and in our homes, so we're going to try to find as much shade as possible if you do have to be outdoors. In fact, speaking of outside, it's a live look at the farmers market down at the State Fairgrounds. Looks like everyone is hanging out, well, even in the shade on a day like today. I don't blame you. It is starting to get a little bit warm outside for the even for this time of year. Here's a live look over Springfield as well. Current temperature 82 degrees. The winds are calm, but the humidity is low. Dew points still in the 40s. So a very dry air mass, a very pleasant, very sweet day for today. Here are the temperatures all across central Illinois, even 79 just in Taylorville and Paris as of right now. Now, as we head into tonight, hour by hour, temperatures will be very comfortable this evening, down into the 60s right before the midnight hour. But tomorrow, more sunshine right from the get-go, and the heat starts to ramp up even more. 82 degrees by 11 o'clock, even 84 by the noon hour. That would even be warmer than what it was all day today. And it doesn't stop there. Our temperatures do get into the 90s for this weekend. So I'll let you know how many days feature 90s in the forecast this upcoming week and how many days may be close to record highs. All that coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Thomas. Back to you soon. Coming up next, a memorial honoring those killed by terror attacks makes a stop in Springfield. The memories it brought back to two Illinois fathers.
And later on, good news for breast cancer survivors. What a new study has discovered for those who want to start having children.